Dylan Ferguson, great to get you on the podcast. Thanks very much for coming along.
No, thanks, David. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Not at all. I watched a video with you and Callum White, and I thought up to a point this could be a continuation of that. I'm going to put a link to that video online so that people can see that. But maybe you could just give a little bit about your background.
Yeah, of course. I mean, to keep it sort of, I suppose, short and sweet, I'm 25 years old from Scotland, and about a year and a half ago, just a little over a year and a half ago, I made the move to come to Dubai to pursue a real estate career. And since then, I've worked for two large companies, real estate firms out here in Dubai. And as of this year, as of February, I've just set up my own real estate firm with my partner, Zay Brown. So that's sort of a short version of, a bit of my history in Dubai. But it's been a busy year and a half. It's been a lot can happen out here in a short amount of time, and I've realised that if you give this place the respect it deserves and you put in the energy into your work and always keep that drive, then this place will just you can grow exponentially. So
definitely, and it was very clear from that video with Callum that just the amount of success that you've been having, which is fantastic. And as you say, you've only been here 18 months. And
yeah, I think it's maybe like 20-21 months now. I think it's a little over a year and a half, but so it's coming up to that 2-year mark in August, I believe. So yeah.
Great. So you started with Allsopp and Allsopp?
Started at Allsopp and Allsopp. Was there for, I think, about 5 months. Then went to White & Co. And then, as of this year, I've been...
Were you headhunted by White & Co?
No, not really. It was just sort of time for me to make a change.
Yep.
Heard about it in the market and went and had an interview and moved. So, yeah.
And both companies offered you training, gave you training?
Yeah, I mean, both companies I sort of went through I didn't need it at White & Co because I was already a sort of established agent before when I was at Allsopp. But yeah, there's sort of a basic training there. But I think with real estate, it's hard. A lot of criticism that a lot of these big companies get is when people come over, they don't think the training's thorough enough. But it's how can you train for a job that you're essentially sort of self-employed and it's really a people business? There's only so much. They can give you the tools. That's all they can really do. And you need to make of that what you will. And I think a lot of people expect to sort of be handheld and led in this industry, and that is not what it is. And I think that needs to be, maybe it needs to be clearer. Maybe some people need to state that a bit more, that look, you're essentially on this journey by yourself. Like, treat it like that. Treat it like your own business. Treat it like you're self-employed. Sure, people will help you, and these other companies, they've got sales directors and managers and everyone that they can sort of help you through the first few deals and show you what's what. But at the end of the day, it's down to you. It's your performance as an individual in this industry. So I went through the training, but it's really sort of learn from the people around you, watch what other people are doing, just get out in the field, just make the mistakes and then correct them as fast as you can.
Sure. And then you went from being like self-employed, similar to it, to actually being self-employed.
To actually self-employed, yeah.
Which is fantastic. I'm really excited for you.
Thank you.
25, that's it's a great achievement.
Yeah.
You and your partner, Zay Brown?
Zay Brown, yeah. So that was something we sort of brainstormed for a while.
Yeah, I was going to ask you when you started planning that.
I mean, we sort of brainstormed it for a while, never really, it was just sort of, we were talking about the idea of it, and then there was a time that just came when it was like, right, we need to do it now. And
a bit similar to leaving Glasgow, coming out here, I need to do it.
Leaving Glasgow was, that was an easy decision. It was honestly, as soon as I found this YouTube video online, and it was about move to Dubai and do real estate, and it was off the back of that video. I sent an email, got the call the next day, had an interview the next week, and then accepted the job pretty much within a week after that as well, and then was out here within a few months. So, I mean, I just knew everything that excited me about Dubai when I was back in Glasgow is true, and it's even better. It exceeded my expectations, and I'm so glad I made the move because I honestly believe this is the best place to be in the world right now for someone of my age.
I totally agree.
For anyone really, it's just the opportunity here. You're in a place that's growing, and when the place is growing, the opportunities are growing around you as well. You know, I said to you earlier, it's like being in the UK when it was like industrialization period or something like that, you know, where when everyone's coming here, there's loads of business, there's loads of trade going on. It's the place to be right now. And I'll stand by that.
So you would say to anyone back in Glasgow or any other part of the UK, just do it, come out here.
Yeah, I mean, if even if you have a small inkling of interest of what's it like out there, maybe I could make it work. Do it. I mean, you're only going to get older. Just do it now. And if it doesn't work out in 6 months and you're really, really hating it, you can go back. No one's going to...
It's one plane flight back, isn't it?
That's it. With Emirates, it's comfortable as well, so you're fine. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, obviously a lot of people I loved Glasgow when I was there, and it was great. And
it's a great city.
Yeah, and a lot of people make a success of themselves there, and that's fine. It was just for someone like me, and I think there are a lot of people like me that were in the same shoes that I was, you know, just over a year and a half ago, where I wasn't happy with what I was doing. I was picking up odd jobs here and there. You know, I didn't have a degree behind me because I left uni because I didn't want to pursue what I was doing as a course at uni, and I felt a little bit lost. I knew I wanted to do my own thing. I knew I wanted to be involved in business. I wanted to make things happen. I wanted to put deals together. I wanted to meet people. I wanted to network. I knew all these things, but I felt so limited. I felt like I was, if I hadn't followed the system back home of school, uni, graduate job, then I felt like I was a failure. Yeah. And I was like, I couldn't, it never sat well with me. I was like, I hate that this is the parameter of how everyone's measured. I hated it. And I was like, I know I'm so much more than that. I know I have so much more, such a great capacity within me. But I feel like I was just limited. And then, honestly, as soon as I heard about Dubai, I was like, that is it. Something went off, something clicked, and I made the move, and I've never ever looked back. It's amazing.
Well, if you've got the ambition that you've got, Dubai's the place to do it, isn't it? At the moment, as you've just said, you would make it work in Glasgow or anywhere else. Yeah. But you're going to make it work that much better here because the opportunities are here.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, like I say, it's when you're away from your home comforts and you're away from that routine that you've been in your entire life, it's a wake-up call. You need to, now you're conscious of your surroundings. You're conscious of who you're spending time with. You're conscious of where you're wasting time. How much time you're actually spending on moving forward, in your life, in your career, whatever, health, whatever it is, and taking that step to a whole other city, a whole other country. It really is a wake-up call and makes you realize, okay, hold on a minute, I'm in control of my own life. Now I know no one here. I can actually pick and choose who I spend my time with. I can pick and choose where I put my time.
It's a clean start, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think even if it's not Dubai, I just say, look, get out your home city. Yeah. You can do whatever you've got your degree in. 9 times out of 10, you can do that anywhere in the world. And I say, just give it a shot. If there's anywhere in the world that you think I'd like to go and try that there, take the leap and do it and give it a try, because you'll only be, later on in life, and you'll regret the fact that you never took that chance, you never took that jump. Because look at me, if I was still back in Glasgow, and someone had showed me what I could have achieved in, these 20 months, had I gone to Dubai, I'd be kicking myself. I wouldn't be able to live with that. So, as soon as I got a little inkling that was what I wanted to do, I just did it. And then you don't have any regrets. I think the phrase I never want to say is what if. That's the phrase I live by. If I ever catch myself saying that, I'm like, well, I'm doing something wrong here. I need to change it around. Because if you find yourself saying what if, then
just go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So that was a reasonably big move, but a no-brainer. Mm-hmm. Can you talk more about Brown and Ferguson when you did start, the two of you discussing
it? Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously it's still sort of early doors. I think we've sort of done our soft launch last month, and we've still got, there's still things we're tweaking here and there, but you'll be hearing a lot from us in the months to come. But yeah, no, look, we just wanted to provide a fresh approach to real estate in Dubai and the UAE. Working at big companies, and I have no bad words to say about any of these companies I started at, but working at these companies, we both identified that our clients were dissatisfied with the service. And they loved buying from us. They loved buying from me as Dylan. They loved what I was able to offer, but it was all the stuff after it, whether it's the back office, whether it was conveyancing, whether it was, even after the deal is done, their information is in a CRM and in a system that anyone in that brokerage can call out on and try sell them something else. I had people say to me, like, Dylan, I've just bought a 3-bedroom property off of you in DIFC, and now someone in your office is calling me 2 weeks later after I've just bought this, trying to sell me an off-plan project in JVC.
And that's out of your control, isn't it?
Out of my control. I can't do anything about that.
Makes you look bad.
Yeah, and it made me look bad. And I was like, and I know these are big clients that it's business that I want. It's a relationship I want with them. And that's tainting that. And I just couldn't really, it rubbed quite wrong with me. And so we wanted to step away and really change our focus to nurturing these long-standing relationships that we really, really want to, we're going to be here for life. I was talking about that to you before. This is my place now. This is my home. I want to be here for life, and I want to have these long-standing relationships with, business partners, with affiliates in the market, with clients who trust me. No one trusts me, and I can make them money. And so that's really our focus, as opposed to the transactional approach, which I think a lot of agents here, a lot of agencies encourage it. Is they treat a client as a commission. It's just, on your first day, it's here's a data sheet of property owners in Dubai. Call out on them and see if they'll sell their property, see if they'll rent the property, see if they'll buy another property, and get money in the board, get a deal, blah blah blah. If you sell them a 4 million dirham property, that's how much. This is how much money you'll make. And I was like, hold on a minute, these are people on the other end of this. These are people's numbers. They're humans. Let's treat them like that. And that's really what our focus is going to be. It's going to be like integrity at the forefront, and actually building a honest and trustworthy brokerage and relationship with myself and my partner.
And in the early days, you don't actually need that many clients, do you? If you got
of course not.
If you got a few good clients who see that you're working hard and making money for them, they're just going to come back.
Well, that's the thing. I know brokers that have one client, and they deal with this one person, and it works for them. And because they've solidified that relationship to the point where it's even more than a friendship now. It's like a business partnership, but also a friendship, but also, you're growing together, you're both making each other money. And you can have one client that can change your life in this industry. So that just shows you how important it is to build these relationships and make sure they're solid. And so you really don't need these massive big teams and loads of people and getting all these clients. You can have a small pool and just offer quality, massive amounts of quality over quantity. And that's our model. The other model works for a lot of brokerages where it's, it's big, it's expansion, it's let's get numbers.
But I know who I'd prefer to use if I was a client.
Well, there you go. That's what I mean. And obviously, I'm not saying clients ever have bad will have bad experiences with these brokerages. Some of them will. My clients did. So it's my experience, and that's why I'm doing it. But there you go. Just you would rather use someone that you can trust, so that you can get A-class service from A to Z of the transaction. And then afterwards as well, you're not going to get pestered and me trying to sell you something just because the developer is going to pay me 8% commission. I'm not going to just flog you anything.
There's a lot of that, isn't there?
There's loads of that. There's loads of that in this industry. Integrity is at the forefront.
And then those clients are going to recommend you to, because wealthy clients have mates who are wealthy clients or contacts, don't they?
Yeah, of course.
So referrals, will be.
Well, that's it. I mean, I think if you've been in Dubai long enough, you realize that this city is built on referrals. It's if you have a successful business here, it's
networking.
Yeah, you have a successful network, you have a extensive network, and you will get referrals from that network, no matter what industry you're in. And that sort of is our focus, is having that really extensive network that will send us business because they know that we're going to give their clients the A-star service.
Yeah, exactly. And is there any particular segment of the market that you're going to focus on with Brown and Ferguson?
Yeah, I mean, we're sort of tailoring ourselves more towards the high end of the market, which people can say will limit yourself, but also we'll still facilitate. Like, we've got clients who, you'd call them big fish, right? But they're still buying the 1 and 2 beds and studios as investments because it makes sense. So
it's just return on investment with those smaller properties.
Yeah, I mean, it's case to case, right? It's just whatever if it's whatever the client needs. But the stuff that we'll actually be showcasing on our website and promoting.
Your website's very good.
Thank you. We've only sort of soft launched it. We're still doing some tweaks, but we will. So you expect to maybe see some changes within the next month or so, but it's pretty much fully operational now.
But the branding, the colours.
Oh, thank you.
It looks luxury.
Yeah. No, thank you. I appreciate that. But what we're going to showcase and actually put our stamp on is going to be top quality stuff.
That's great. I've run businesses back in the UK, but I've never set one up in Dubai. Can you describe how tricky that is, or easy it is? Or?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. There's a lot of hoops to jump through here, but if you, again, just like looking for a broker for your real estate, like a real estate purchase, you need to just find the right person that you know and trust who will be your partner for setting up that business, essentially. Because if you try to do it yourself here, it's a minefield. You know, you're dealing with a lot of different government offices. There really is a lot of hoops to jump through, and if you have no idea, it's going to take you ages. So we went with a company called Prism 7. It was actually a friend I know. He's also a guy from Glasgow, and I already had a great relationship with him there. Again, showing the power of a relationship here. And I knew he did that service, and I knew that when I'd passed him clients in the past, he was very, very good at giving them the A-class service that we expect. So we were happy to hand that over to them, and they did everything for us. And so it was sort of relatively hands off for us. We just need to sign stuff here and approve something here and provide a document here and there. So it's it's an easy process if you have someone.
I think that's a good idea. I think that's good advice. And also doing it with somebody else. When things go wrong, you're there to help each other. When they go right, you can celebrate together, can't you?
Yeah,
and just bounce ideas off each other. So that's great. And then as you say, we were chatting earlier. Initially, it's just going to be the two of you working in the company on the side of sales. But in the future, would you consider taking on other brokers?
Yeah, of course. Even at this moment, we'd consider it. It's just it's not our model. Is to our model isn't expansion and bring on these brokers, get them calling out. That's not what we're doing. Me and Zay alone, with the deals that we do and the revenue that we generate, is enough for the business, and the network we have. It's enough for the business to run for years. So we're not giving out that energy into the market that we're looking to hire. But it's like, well, if someone comes to us and we know they can provide value to us and we can provide value to them, a symbiotic relationship, then we'll have that conversation. And there's a lot of boxes that would need to be ticked in order for us to allow someone to put our stamp on their work. Do you know what I mean?
You're building up a brand.
Yeah, exactly, because it's going to be boutique. It's going to be, again, everything I just talked about with the integrity and building relationships. We can't just be hiring any old Joe from anywhere. They've got to fit our, sort of fit our brand and model and
your culture.
And our values. So, it's our model isn't let's recruit. We'll recruit as and when, if the right people come along, and they, because we want people to want to work for us as well. And then, we can even create a full brand around them, which we've sort of brainstormed the idea of doing that as well. So, obviously there's loads of potential there. As of just now, it is just the two of us. It's going great.
Yeah. And then you've got an office, but predominantly you're working in the field, is that?
Yeah. That's sort of, my days at other agencies as well, I always like to be out of the office.
That's where the magic happens, isn't it?
I don't perform well sitting in a chair, staring at a screen, doing admin work. And I understand that's part of the job. But you can also offload that work, which we've done now at Dylan Ferguson. But where my strengths were out in the field, meeting clients, whether that's meeting them for a coffee or touring a property with them or catching them for a game of golf, whatever it is, or even just sitting in a coffee shop in the area that you do or whatever and sparking up conversations with people. That's where I performed really well, and that's how I got a lot of my business and built a lot of these relationships with my now long-term clients and friends.
Yeah.
And so that's again been our focus from day one of starting this company. Is that's going to be our approach, because Zay's the same. She's got fantastic clients and fantastic relationships that she's built over the years, to the point where these people trust her with their life. So, and that's all from her not sitting in an office and hiding behind a phone. It's face to face.
It's doing reality programs.
Of course. It's face to face. It's that's what really, really matters. That's how you solidify a connection,
So where do you play golf out here?
Yes, I do. I'm a member at Trump, actually.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Trump International. So that's up in Damac Hills, which is far from the IFC with the current
I'm going to have
traffic.
to hassle you to invite me around sometime.
Yeah, of course. No, of course. No, it's great. I mean, the golf here is amazing.
It's incredible, isn't it?
Incredible.
Yeah. I'm off to Spain in a few weeks.
Oh, yeah?
And, it's going to be a step down from the courses here. But
I was really surprised with the golf when I got here because I always loved it growing up in Scotland. But then I think I got a bit sick of it as I grew older and I was having to go out and it was a windy day, it was wet, it was grey.
The conditions aren't always great.
Yeah, I sort of lost my love for golf and then didn't play it for probably like 8 years almost. Like I stopped playing proper golf when I was like 17. Now I'm 25, picking it up again and I love it here because you're going around in the buggy, the sun's shining, the service, even, they'll take your clubs to the tee for you, get your buggy ready with the water there. It's another level of another experience. So I'm getting a lot back into golf and I love it.
There's a couple of months in the summer, isn't there, where it's a bit tricky.
Unbearable.
Well, yeah. What I find, it depends on the round. It's a bit like the UK. In the UK in the winter, if you're having a bad round, it's cold and it's windy and it's wet, isn't it? Here, if you're having a bad round, it becomes very hot round as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas if you're playing well enough, then you ignore the heat a bit. Do you play any other sports?
Over here, just play football every now and then, a game of fives with my friends, and golf mainly. But that's about it. I used to play rugby, but picked up too many injuries, so had to hang up the boots there.
What, at 25? Oh.
Yeah. Well, no, I used to get head injuries quite a lot, concussion.
Yeah. It's taken a lot more seriously now,
So I'm just like, you know what, it's not worth it, especially with all the stuff we're doing, running the business and all the stuff now that actually lies on my shoulders and along with Zay's. If I was to pick up an injury and I can't do it, if I'm immobile for a week or two, it would really put a lot of strain on her and the business. So it doesn't really make sense to do that anymore.
But the thing out here is the sports, and there's so many opportunities to do things as hobbies.
You can do anything out here.
Skiing.
Honestly, you're never bored here, which I love. There's something for everyone. Whether you want to go to the beach one day or whether you want to, like you say, play sports or football or whatever, or do gym classes, go climbing, go swimming, whatever it is, like every activity is possible here. It's amazing.
And we talked about golf being hot in the summer, but so many of those activities are indoors, aren't they? Where the air conditioning works perfectly.
I wouldn't be surprised if Dubai was the first place with an indoor golf course.
Full course.
Yeah, I could see that happening. A full 18 indoor golf course. I could see that happening if Saudi don't get there first.
Yeah, I was going to say, it'll be a race between Dubai and Saudi, won't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's great, Dylan. Really appreciate you coming on. I'll put some details in the show notes, link into your website.
Yeah, of course. No, I appreciate that. And it's been great being on.
Is there anything else you want to add, or have you covered it?
No, I think we've sort of covered everything. It's a decent sort of introduction to our company and what we're doing. Just sort of stay tuned for everything that's to come, because we will be sort of pushing out a hell of a lot of content and a lot more sort of material for people to see what we're about. So that will all be happening soon as well. But we're still sort of in the early stages just now, so there's a lot of fine tuning still to do. But over the coming months, you'll be seeing and hearing a lot from us. So
I'm sure we will. Fantastic job on what you've done so far.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. David.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.